Well, welcome back, everyone. Well, it's no secret that Glens Falls is on fire. I think, especially in the last 6 months, we've been covering so many stories about the developments in Glens Falls. And this week, as you know, a lot of news about the Glens Falls Civic Center. So I asked Ed Bartholomew, who's the president of the Economic Development Corps in Warren County, to stop in to give us an update. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here, Ed, as always.
I did not bring the $2 million check with me, Jess. So,
damn.
No ideas.
See, we're eligible for that. I don't know if you know that or not. We put the G in grant. I don't know if you don't know that or not. Welcome, as always, Ed.
Thank you.
Look, we started reporting on this early in the week. Got a grant. $2 million. Now, we've heard about what that grant's going to, and we'll cover some of that.
Sure.
But I always like the backstory, because I know this was years in the making. So take us back a couple of years.
Well, it was over 2 years ago, and obviously the Civic Center built in 1979 under that mayor, I forgot who the heck it was. The grand old lady needed some uplifting, and so that we had communicated with the governor's office, Empire State Development. And then there came an occasion about 2 years ago that economic development folks set up a very brief meeting with the governor after one of his events, myself and Mayor Diamond, and he looked directly at us and said that I will do what I helped other arenas in New York State, such as Utica and Binghamton, and we'll get it done to keep hockey and to upgrade your facility. And about 6 months later, again, we had another meeting, and he reiterated that support. And following that, we had a follow-up meeting with the administration economic development individuals, myself, the mayor, Betty Little, Senator Little, and the president of the coalition. And we put together the list. And the fact is that the governor said those words and committed himself, and the proof is in the announcement on Tuesday. So we are greatly appreciative of the governor's efforts, Senator Little and Dan Steck, and it's really been a partnership between the city, between the coalition, and also Warren County that continues to contribute operating funds through the occupancy tax. So at the local level, I think we demonstrated to the state that we've got our act together, and the state responded with a $2 million grant.
You know, there's two things that sort of stand out to me, and you hear it said a lot, that when Governor Cuomo looks you in the face, you know you're being looked at. He's a man of few words, and he's just very, very highly focused. But the other thing is the way you follow up. You know, I say this to you a lot, but it's really true. When you set your mind to something, Ed, it gets done.
Well, this is an important project. That's an anchor, like the city center is here in Saratoga Springs. That's an anchor of a different variety, but you're fortunate in Saratoga, the Performing Arts Center under the great leadership of my friend Marcia White, and the racing season here. So that was important for us to maintain and get that facility back up to a state of art.
Now, we're going to dig into some of the details. As many of you know, there was a grant prior to this. I'm calling it a grant, maybe it wasn't.
It was.
Like $600,000 to $700,000, brand new marquee. And if anybody's been in Glens Falls lately, the new marquee is up and working, and it's really pretty stunning. And they had some other improvements there, I think, in terms of Wi-Fi or some other things,
Wi-Fi as well as the sound system will be upgraded as well very shortly.
Now, this $2 million, though, there are real specific needs for this. Let's run them down again.
Specific needs of that is the scoreboard dating back to 1979, which was pretty modern at that point, were replaced by a large scoreboard. More importantly, it'll have videos on each of the sides for four.
Well, that's will be big improvement.
Big improvement. That will be center stage at the Civic Center. And for floor covering, the floor covering we've had down for several years is starting to break up a little bit. So for concerts that are performed during the hockey season, other events, will have a floor covering. And then about 1,600 of the portable chairs will be replaced, again, from the various concerts over the years from the Grateful Dead. I probably saw you at those, along to those concerts of Fish, as well as other concerts. They've been kind of beaten up a little bit from the fans standing on the chairs. So those will be replaced. So those are really some key elements, and I think equally important is locker room improvements for hockey as well as for the basketball tournament. That was one of the criticisms by some state officials relative to the locker rooms not being in fairly good shape. So all of those things will be undertaken through this grant of $2 million, and a little add-on, a little topping is Senator Little obtained another $150,000 for us to repaint the steel beams at the top of the building. Basically, they hadn't been painted in '79, and they've been chipping away. And the senator likes to see that building, like all of us, in top grade. And so,
Well, you know what? When you make the reference to Saratoga and the city center, you know, it's really true. If a city is fortunate enough to have a halo building, they call it, right?
Yep.
It's a place where the community revolves around, but it also becomes a center for commerce. And, you know, when he's talking about putting new floor covering down and new portable seats and stuff like that, that's making it a true multi-use building.
it really is.
And that's what you're going for, because hockey is there. It's great to have a hockey team, but quite honestly, you want to do other events in the building as well, and you need to have that floor covered, and you need to have proper seating and proper locker rooms.
And we just have to have a newness feeling of
Yeah,
walking
you're right.
into that building. But the marquee sets the right stage with the sound system upgraded, and you walk in and see that video system around the scoreboard. I think that will greatly enhance our abilities to track other events.
Oh boy, Ed, congratulations to you and to Betty and to Jack, and for really sticking with it and bringing our hometown back.
Thank you.
It's really
it's a team effort, again, at the local level. We couldn't have done it without the Warren County's continued money, the coalition that have come together and really supported this to really make it a regional, facility.
Yeah, good. Before you go, just a couple of things. How are you?
I'm fine.
Are you?
Fine.
Good. You look
Listen,
well.
you get $2 million. Yeah. you gotta be fine. We'd like to get this every week, but we know it takes a lot of time. But again, a lot of planning. And at the end of the day, it's a great project.
Yes, wonderful. Wonderful, Ed. I think before we go, I want to sneak one other thing in. We're getting various reports on Exit 18, what's going on at Exit 18. I heard 1 hotel, 2, 3 hotels.
At this point now, there are plans for 3 hotels.
Unreal.
On the west, there'll be 2 hotels projected on the other side by Carl Ars. Get a little plug in there for my friend Joe DeSantis. Possibly another one, and a 4th hotel is being looked at in downtown Glens Falls.
Right? You know
So different markets, but it'll be tough to get all 4 hotels from a feasibility market point of
But
view.
again, it just shows you the kind of initiatives that are being thought about and discussed, right?
Yes.
All right. So, but now we got something to talk about for when you come back again.
We are anxious to talk about that, and also some of the more activities going on in the Lake George area as well.
Good, Ed. Great to see you as always. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks very much.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.